Brag Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakadash, Brag Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone. Double honors to all the brothers spreading this truth and righteousness. This one is Esau. I think I'm going to title it Esau Will Fight But Would Not Prevail. And this is from, the movie Independence Day. Just a little short clip real quick. Let me let it play.
Command, we have visual. Roger, Captain Hiller. Continue approach. Mission is to go. Bay 18, sir.
Why'd you put it all the way up there? Give me that. Get the ladder down there. Come on. Couldn't leave it on the bottom shelf? Here we go. All right. Coming for you, baby. There she is.
What is it, an alien laser?
Nope. That's the Oaken laser.
Why are they attacking us?
Careful what you wish for.
There's the Queen ship. Bombers, prepare to drop.
You just had to jinx us!
Oh no, probably bad signal.
Evade! Evade! Squad, pull out! Right, maintain defensive posture! Down! Protect the bombers! Die!
Command, Queen ship is too heavily defended. We have to regroup and find a new approach.
We have incoming!
Chariots.
Damn, so fast!
Thousands of them.
Their firepower. I got you.
Gotta be crazy if they think that's gonna happen.
Wow. Can't shake him, son of a bitch! Come on, help me out here. I got you. Dylan, that's me, 12 o'clock.
I'm up. Here.
Come on. Break glass.
I'm gonna leave it right there. Esau always gotta, especially in his movies. These movies, he's getting the ideals from the scriptures, but it's almost like a fantasy. It's just like a fantasy of Esau, And then you Jakes and stuff go to the movie theaters, watch these movies, and be all happy and clapping when Esau portray himself to win. Not even understanding this is all Esau's fantasy. Nevertheless, he's not going to prevail. He's not going to win. Even though he think he is. Even though he think he's going to be up there shooting down chariots. It's not going to happen, man. But you see, they were scared. They was like, man, pretty much where, look at their firepower, they would say. Why you jinx us? And they said they was dropping like flies, but they still fought. Why? Because that's in the scriptures. So a smart man asks himself, like, if they know that they're going to lose and they know that it's in the scriptures, well, why do they even continue to try? Well, the thing is prophecy. That they are created and they are controlled too. So the spiritual demon Satan that they're getting their answers from, he's getting his answers from the Lord. So either way it go, the Lord got them right where he want them. And they can't do nothing but what the Lord wants them to do. The same way we can't do nothing but what the Lord wants us to do. Everything's predestined, man. There's no free will. That's why they can't stop, because they were created to be wicked, created to be evil, and created to fulfill prophecy. A lot of different things, and they fulfilling prophecy to a T. They doing their job to a T, man. Gotta commend them on that. They doing their job. And you know, we doing our job. We waking up. I give us me personally, I give us some credit. We waking up doing our job because the Lord ain't moving and bringing these plagues upon Babylon for no reason. So obviously somewhere somehow, you know, we doing our job too as the Israelites. You know, this is second Esdras because Esdras talked about this when he seen it. Like you see when they very first approached the ship, it was a great, huge, gigantic ship. Esdras described it as a mountain, you know, and it was thousands of chariots, right? And then there was thousands of these jets. It was a great multitude of these fighter jets that came to fight against the Lord. That's why they got their space force and stuff like that, because they try to put weapons into space so they could fight. It's all prophecy, so they could be there to fight against the Lord when he come. But the Lord said, you know, it ain't gonna take nothing but like an hour for him to take them down. It's gonna be easy work. This is second Esdras, the 13th chapter. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. So Esdras is gonna have this vision, right? And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And if you watch this whole movie, you see in that chariot touched down, there was tsunamis. Because it was so big that it was causing all these tsunamis. That's what it means when it say moved all the waves thereof. This is talking about big things. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. So who is that man that he's talking about? That's talking about Yahweh Shai. And who's the thousands of heavens? Well, you know, he got thousands of chariots, you know, angels that's coming back to fight. You know, as you see in Esau's fantasy movie, Esau always going to make it seem like he's getting his ass kicked. And then at the end, you know, he prevailed. He did something and he took out Yahweh Shai. Even though they got it like a queen alien on here that they take out at the end, they know that they portraying that to be Yahweh Shai because they said, look, we take out that queen, then all the rest of them going to fall. So they planning on taking out Yahweh Shai so all the rest of us could fall in 144,000 elect, right? And he said when he looked, all things trembled that were seen under him. Because look, when that chariot is so big, when it touched down, man, everything underneath it is going to tremble and be on fire. It's going to be like a major earthquake. That's how big it is. It's basically bigger than the earth. We seen one that was like 3-4 times bigger than the earth, man. And verse 4, whenever so the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard its voice, like the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. You see that chariot shooting out those beams, and it's burning them up and killing them. Verse 5, and after this I behold, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So, you know, that has a lot of meat on it, because as you see these jets, these fighter jets, it was a multitude, and you couldn't number them. So Esau got thousands and thousands and thousands of left-hand chariots or fighter jets, whichever one you want to call it. And Esau with the NATO and the EU coming together, all nations coming together with all their jets and all their firepower, and they're going to be up there in the sky. It's going to be thousands of them that's going to come to fight against the Lord. The Lord going to have thousands of chariots too. But when it says to subdue the man that came out the sea, well, you know, space is also called the sea too. The waters below and the waters above. So you got the waters below on earth, and you got the waters above, which in today's terms they call it space. So where is he coming? He coming out the sea. He coming out of space. He's going to come from the skies. You're going to see him like Revelation chapter 1 said. Let's keep going. Verse 6, but I behold, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Now, I've been over the road, and especially when you start getting over there into like Utah, or if you start going to California and you're going to go through the Rockies, it comes a point where like you're on a street and you're traveling straight, and it looks like you're traveling straight to the mountain. The street going to curve around a low part of the mountain, then you're gonna go over it. But when you're first on that street and you're kind of far away from it, it looks like you're going straight into the mountain, and all you see in front of you is this huge, gigantic mountain in the distance. I'm talking about huge. It looked like it's touching the sky, right? And this is what Edris seen. He seen Yahushua, because he said a man that flew upon it. So what he actually seen was Yahushua on a great gigantic chariot that looked like a mountain, right? But he seen a man that flew upon it. So I don't know if Yahushua was standing on top of this gigantic chariot and he could see it, or just the spirit knew that Yahushua was inside of the chariot. Because, you know, they say Yahushua is giant. I'm talking about huge, his statue. You know, he's glorious. So I don't know if he's seen a gigantic man standing on top of it, but he said, behold and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. And he said, but I would have seen the region or place where at the hill was graven, and I could not. So he tried to see like where it was touching down at, where the ends of it was at. He couldn't find the ends of it, meaning this was a gigantic chariot. Kind of like this movie, which they stole from these scriptures like this to put in a movie, the ideal. Right? And after this I behold, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fight. So you see how they were saying, them, we're outnumbered, we're outgunned. You know, they was scared. They was like, why you jinx us? They was scared when they seen that chariot open up and start fighting back. But they kept fighting. You know, in Esau fantasy, they got him shooting down chariots and stuff like that, man. Come on. Right? But this is what's really going to happen, rather than them fighting and shooting down chariots. This is what really going to happen. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up a hand nor held a sword. So he didn't have no gun or nothing like that, like Esau put in here, nor any instrument of war. So he didn't need guns on top of a gigantic chariot like how Esau did to shoot at them and try to shoot them down. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. Just one blast of fire, not millions of them. Just guns shooting, trying to shoot down jets. One gigantic blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. That's why I say it was one. And they were all mixed together. So this blast of fire, off his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast sparks and tempests, was all one, all mixed together. And the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one of them. Not just, you know, these two hero fighter jets, you know, they escape. They take down a couple chariots with smart maneuvers, and then they eventually take down Yahushua. No, man, say he burned up every single one of them. That's prophecy, meaning that it is going to happen. So that upon a sudden of a innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived. Nothing's in the air flying around no more to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Afterwards, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. This is the elect. This is Israel. And there came much people unto him, where some were glad, right? Some of us gonna be glad because we know what's going on. Some were sorry. Some are still gonna be saved. That kind of, you know, they probably was going off, but they had the name right, but they probably was going off on certain things, and they're sorry about it. Or some brothers just gonna feel sorry because they know that they weren't perfect. Some brothers just waking up at the very last moment, or just was saved just because the Lord wanted them to be saved. They're gonna be sorry and wish, you know, that they was in the truth the whole time, right? Here, let me find where that was at again. Some of them were bound. So some brothers been saved. Some brothers were bound in prisons and stuff like that. And we gonna have our servants that we took down. The servants of Israel, the other nations in bondage and stuff like that. That's gonna be bound. And others, some about of them that were offered, Then was I sick through great fear, and I was awakened and said. So, so the heathen are going to offer themselves. They going to know what time it is. Like, all right, y'all the Israelites. Y'all Lord came back. It's time for us to get into bondage, into slavery like y'all been prophesizing. Some of them going to just be offered. Some of them just going to say, okay, I'm getting to slavery. Let me get to work. What y'all need me to do. Some of them we going to have to bound them. But then the Lord gonna come down after he destroy these people, man. And call us elect. He gonna start picking up his elect. Here we go. Verse 13. No, verse 14. Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou should have received my prayer. Right, so he's seeing these visions, and this is what he's seeing. And I had a vision like this when I was younger. When I was younger, I used to always have this like, man, it was like it was so real. Like when I used to have this vision, this dream, it felt so real, man. I was always used to wake up still thinking about it, and then the next night I go to sleep and pick off on the same dream. When I was a little boy, probably around like 7 or 10, somewhere between 7 or 10 or something like that. And I'm wondering, I'm like, why am I keep having the same dream? And this is what I seen, kind of like how Edric seen. I seen a whole bunch of different shapes and lights and stuff in the sky. I told this to one of the brothers. It was me and and a guy that I was calling my brother. He did seem like he was my biological brother. It seemed like I knew him, but I didn't know him for years and years and years and stuff like that. I was calling him my brother, but he wasn't my biological brother. We was on top of a house. We was on top of a roof. And we watching this battle in the heavens, and all I can remember is we up there, and we're kind of like, we're praying that one side was winning. But at the time, I didn't know anything about this truth. I just knew we was praying and hoping one side was winning. We was waiting for the war to be over with. And there was planes falling out the sky, jets and stuff being shot down and falling out the sky. It might fall kind of close to you and shake the whole ground, and there's a wind blast, and we up there, and our adrenaline is rushing, and we praying that one side is winning. And all you could see when you look up was a whole bunch of different shapes and colors, and like like now I know it looked like chariots shooting beams at jets and shooting them out the sky. And you see, and this is my dream, 100% honest to heart dream that I had. And I'm talking about chariots disappearing, reappearing behind jets, a different shape. You got gigantic chariots that's doing different things, spinning, shooting lightning beams and stuff like that. You got smaller chariots zipping across the sky, 10 chariots taking down one jet. I'm talking about surrounding it, just beaming it up to death. I mean, you got chariots reappearing, disappearing. You got greater chariots. You got smaller chariots. I'm talking about it was a war in heavens. This is the dream that I seen. It was a war in heavens, right? And there was a gigantic chariot that ended up ending everything pretty much, So it was almost like the Lord let the smaller chariots have fun. Let them have fun and play, and then ended it with one blast. And the thing is I remember after that, it was like a gigantic blast. Because at the time, I didn't know it was a gigantic blast. All I thought it was like a gigantic flash. I seen a flash, like a light. It was like everything went white. But now I know that was a gigantic blast. And when everything went white, we everything came back. And then we was up there, me and this brother, and I remember we was rejoicing. We was happy. It was like, they won. They won. Let's go. They won, And I remember me and the brother, we were saying to each other, I think he was saying to me, he was like, they finna come get us. They finna come get us. Get ready. They finna come get us. Get ready. And there was a light that beamed down on the roof that we was on me and this brother, and everything went white after that. So I don't know if we got beamed up, or I don't know if we got destroyed. The light beamed down on us and it was over with to the spiritual world, or if the light beamed down on us and we went up. But all I know, that's where it ended. Everything, we got a light beamed on us from a chariot. Now that I know it was a chariot, and everything went white after that. And that's a vision that I had myself, 100%. You know, let me pull a couple more other scriptures, a couple precepts. This is Jeremiah 1:19. This happened then, but it still holds true for today too. It says, and they shall fight against thee, right? Esau's going to fight against us. But they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee, saith the Lord, to deliver thee. So on this movie, on Esau's Fantasy, they got the Lord coming back to drill into the earth and take the the inner core. But that's not what the Lord coming back for, man. He coming back to deliver us, man. And this precept goes along with it. See, they're gonna fight against us too. They're gonna put us, in FEMA camps and kill a lot of us. But the Lord said they're gonna fight against thee, but they should not prevail against thee, for I am with thee, saith the Lord. Why? Because the Lord is with us. And this time, the Lord literally gonna be with us. He's gonna come back with that fathership that we call, and thousands of chariots, and he's gonna go to war and he's gonna take them down. He's literally gonna be with us. And ultimately, those nukes are gonna go off. He's going to disarm their nukes, take their nukes from them and use it against them. And those nukes are going to fly every single place, and it's going to destroy everything. That's the second death, man. The lake of fire. Get ready for it, Esau. You're not going to win. This is Zechariah 14. Zechariah 14:12. Same thing happened. This is going to happen now. Speaking of the news, right? And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. So all these people that fought against Jerusalem, these dudes in these fighter jets that help keep us, because this is Esau army. This is Esau teeth. This is how Esau implement and enforce, pretty much fighting against Jerusalem and keeping us in bondage and keeping us dumb, and keeping us in sin. So if you was in the theaters clapping for the fighter jets and going for that side, you wicked, man. Or I ain't gonna say you wicked, you just didn't know. Repent, though. I watched this movie, I'm going for the chariots, man. Even though Esau, his fantasy is that he prevails. But we already know what second address said what was gonna happen, right? Verse 12 again, Zechariah 14, I'm start over. And this should be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouths. What could create that? That's a nuclear weapon, man. Look it up. That's a nuclear weapon dropping. And people that fought against us are going to consume away, man. So Esau gonna fight? Yeah, Esau gonna fight. But is Esau gonna prevail? No. He should not prevail, man. And the Lord ain't coming back to dig no hole in the earth, man. The Lord coming back to save the elect and establish his kingdom, the kingdom of heaven. And the Lord coming back, and he's coming back to stay. He's going to live in the kingdom of heaven with us, man. Salvation to the elect. Shalom.